Hello and good morning to one and all. Dear students, today we are talking about accounting by e-commerce entities. When I say e-commerce, then first of all we should know what is the meaning of e-commerce. Basically, e-commerce is an activity of electronically buying or selling of products or online services over the internet. Basically, this is considered as an e-commerce. But when I say electronic commerce draws on technologies such as mobile commerce, electronic fund transfer, supply chain management, internet marketing, online transaction processing, or electronic data interchange, sometimes inventory management system, and automated data collection system. E-commerce is in turn driven by technological advantages of semiconductor industry and is the largest sector of the electronic industry. Basically, e-commerce is a business model that help the firm as well as individual to conduct the business over the electronic network, which is known as an internet. In e-commerce, which can be conducted over the internet, tablet, or smartphone, may be thought of like a digital version of mail order catalog shopping. Nearly every imaginable product or service is available through e-commerce transaction nowadays, including books, music, airplane ticket, as well as the financial services such as stock investing and online banking. So one of the form of e-commerce company is that of online content companies focuses on content sites like internet sites that provide news, information, knowledge as it is their main business. This include companies that provide internet navigation services, reference guide information for World Wide Web, and that publish, provide or present proprietary advertising and or third-party contents. The example of content site include like Wikipedia is one of the example that provide contents and which is sharing the content with along with the all the people through the internet. So the another form of e-commerce is electronic retailing, that is sale of goods and services through the internet. Retailing can include business to business and business to consumer sale of product or services. Retailing basically requires companies to tailor the business model to capture internet sales, which can include building out distribution channels such as warehouses, internet web pages, product shipping centers. The example of e-tailing vendors are like nowadays Flipkart, Amazon, Make My Trip, Yatra, Trivago, then you can say Naptol. All these are e-tailing providers. These e-tailing retailers include broad range of companies and industries. Basically, in internet commerce companies, they sell the product and services over the website on the internet, and it include online dealers. In their business, online payment to e-commerce entities by customer, it may take the different form. Like you can make a payment to these e-commerce companies through your debit card, credit card, net banking, electronically wallet payment, or sometimes you can use your UPI and against delivery, that is on cash on delivery. All these types of mode of payments are also available in e-commerce industry. The e-commerce entities, they are divided into the different market segments, that is business to business, business to consumer, consumer to consumer, and consumer to business. So in business to business side, it linked the different businesses or the different parts of the businesses. In business-to-business transaction, these sites take place between the industrial manufacturer, wholesaler, or retailer. Special features of these transactions are high volume per customer, lesser number of customers, and secured payment system as well as privacy of information can be undertaken in business-to-business transaction. The example of B2B is in this category indiaconstruction.com, clickforsteel.com, sickandsource.com. These are the basic examples of B2B. Then when I say B2C, that is business to consumer, these websites they sell product or services directly to the consumers. Large number of e-commerce entities fall in this category. Transactions on these websites are characterized by low volume per consumer and large number of consumers. The example of these sites are you can say Zomato, Urban, Clap, Swiggy, then you can see Uber Eat, Redbus, IRCTC, Rediff.com, then Shadi.com, India Times. Papmart. All these are the companies, those who are having a segment known as an business to consumer, where there is a large number of customer as well as the product or service volume is very low. But when we talk about the consumer to consumer model, so in these websites, they enable the consumer to buy and sell from each other through auction or other similar sites. The example of these sites in this category are Baze.com, Snapdeal.com, you can say OLX, Quicker, Jabong, eBay, Mantra, Bidorbuy.com. These are the companies, those who are online auctioning to the third parties. So therefore, these segments are considered as a consumer to consumer segment. And last one is consumer to business sites. These enable the customer to set the prices and business entity bid to offer the product and services. You can take an example of razorfinish.com, you can say priceline.com. These are the consumer to business websites that are being offered e-commerce services to the customers. Now we will talk about the elements of e-commerce transaction. In e-commerce transaction, there should be a product or services that can be sold or purchased. Second thing, for e-commerce transaction, there should be a place, and the place in e-commerce is considered as an website. The third element necessary, that is, there should be a people, those who will visit the browser. And the next element is there should be an order that is to be placed on that particular website. So therefore, online form of orders can be accepted. Then there should be a way to accept the consideration, that is amount of consideration has to be accepted for the transaction, and it has to be accepted in online mode also. There is also a facility of emails, that is entity may use more traditional techniques either in online or through the mail, the communication can be done. And further, a facility to ship the product to the consumer, sometimes it may be outsourced. So in this case, the software and information, the product can be transferred through the web through a file downloaded. Sometimes if you want to buy a license key of the Microsoft Office, then in that case you can place an order on the online website and you will get the mail, that is your product will be delivered through email. Then they are accepting, sometime your order may be accepted, rejected, or sometime if the goods has been received in defective condition, then these goods can be returned back also. There is also a mechanism of handling the warranties of the customer if necessary, and many of the e-commerce companies, they are providing the email, online forms, the online knowledge base, and sometimes frequently asked questions. It will be also provided on the website of the companies. So these are the elements of e-commerce transaction through which e-commerce companies are running. But when I say the scope of these companies, basically the e-commerce companies, whenever they are working, the accounting standard is applicable to the companies, those who are preparing the financial statement under the Companies Act, Rule 2006, as amended in the Section 133 of the Companies Act 2013. So it is applicable to those who are preparing the financial statement. Secondly, it is also applicable to limited liability partnership firms and the partnership firms, those who are preparing the financial statement under the accounting standard issued by ICAI. It is also applicable with the specific accounting aspects only, and this accounting is covers only and only the special issues of the companies, not the general accounting issues faced for all the industries. This accounting standard does not cover the aspects which are general in nature, but only specific transactions aspects can be covered in this particular accounting by e-commerce entities. Now, revenue recognition. When an e-commerce companies are run by the different businessmen nowadays, so in that case, whenever they are doing their accounting, so while doing the accounting, how the revenues will be recognized by these e-commerce companies. So for the purpose of revenue recognition, the major sources of revenue for e-commerce companies are merchandising activities. Merchandising activity means it is an activity in which the e-commerce companies, they are buying the goods in a bulk quantities and they are selling the goods to the third party consumers in a small quantity. So very often these e-commerce companies, they based on revenue on their multiple sources, and one of the most important performance parameter of these companies is Either they accept the payment through online or credit card, internet banking, debit card, or cash on delivery. Further, in most of the cases, delivery is the responsibility of the company, and hence it is important to determine that when does the risk and reward will occur in case of business to consumer as well as business to business model. And therefore, as per accounting standard 9, that is revenue recognition, which is notified under the section 133 of the Companies Act, that how revenue of this company has to be recognized. All the principles are being mentioned in the AS 9. Now, second source of revenue for them is membership and subscription. Third, they can also get in revenue through advertising services and other sources of revenues like web hosting, content selling, etc. It means all the e-commerce companies, they are doing all such type of activities through which they are getting an revenue. So first, when I say membership and subscription, many a time online companies they receive upfront payment from the customer before they provide the contracted services or before they deliver goods. So such upfront fees generally related to the activation or setup of a goods is to be used or a services to be provided in future. Many cases, the amount paid by the customers are non-refundable. In order to avail the services provided by e-commerce entities, customers are usually required to pay an amount such as membership fees or subscription fees, and such fees may be also collected in the form of registration fee. While some services are available to the members free of cost after registration, other services may be available only to the payment of additional fees. Basically, online companies like you can say Amazon. So Amazon, there are two situations on the Amazon. You can register yourself at a free of cost, and second there is the Amazon Prime membership. Sometimes through different modes you will get the free subscription of Amazon Prime for 1 year. But if you want to have the subscription of the Amazon Prime, in which the different facilities will be provided by the Amazon. So such a sort of memberships and subscription is one of the source of the e-commerce companies. Next is merchandising activities. So basically, merchandising is nothing but it is a selling of product to retail customers, and merchandising are also retailers who divide the product from wholesalers and manufacturer and add a maker, and they are also providing or they are also creating a gross profit on whatever the product they are selling by which is they have been purchased from the wholesalers or retailer. So these activities are generally considered as merchandising activity. So in case of e-commerce entity, generally multiple parties are involved in providing the goods and services. So when these multiple parties involved in providing goods or services to customer, the company has to evaluate the nature of its promise to the customers, because there are different sellers which are available on online platforms. So these sellers have to be very transparent while providing the goods and services to the consumers. Then multiple element arrangements. Now, when I say multiple element arrangement, it is an arrangement generally exists where an e-commerce entity agrees to deliver more than one product or services concurrently and deliver certain additional product manufactured in future. These additional product or services may include upgrade, enhancement, or maintenance services. It is sometimes customary to handle such product and services for consolidated price. So this is generally considered a multiple element arrangement, because when an e-commerce company sells the goods, for example, and any electronic item has been sold through online mode. So in that case, company has not only just to focus on their merchandising activity, but also they have to take care about the warranty and guarantee of that particular product also. So in that case, multiple times, different element has to be handled by the company. Then in online mode, there is a right of return. E-commerce company, particularly e-tailers, they provide an option of returning of goods for exchange, either in cash or goods or services by way of stores, credit card coupons, which can be used by the customer for subsequent purchases. So therefore, within time limit, in such case, the entity would need to evaluate the appropriate timing of recognizing revenue. There is a certain level of certainty attached to it, and when and whether customer would exchange the goods or service further, whether the customer would utilize the coupon or not. So all such type of things are being involved in e-commerce transactions. Therefore, Even though in e-commerce transaction for certain products there is a right of return, even though you can check on Amazon, Flipkart also, if you don't like the product, you can just send it back within 14 days and you will get the return of your money also. It means you can return the customer in online mode also. There is one more thing which is known as a right of return in exchange for cash. Sometimes you can return your goods, and while returning goods, you will get the exchange as a cash also. In such case, right of return is provided by exchange for cash. And as per the accounting standard 9, it is appropriate to produce on the basis of that sales that to the extent of estimates or likely returns which have been made, the sales recognized during the period should be reduced by the estimated sales of that particular period, because you have given an option to the customer that if you don't like the product, you can return the product and in exchange you can get the cash back. The example of a right return in exchange for cash is an online retailer sells shirts with a right to customer to return the shirt within 60 days of purchase through its website and mobile application. Returns are accepted with a proof of purchase, and if the shirts are unused and in good condition, in that case, company can sell it. So this is an general example that in which company may get back your product with certain conditions. Right of return against goods or services or coupons. Basically, in this case, provision should be measured such as per accounting standard 9, because once we sold the goods we cannot return it back, but in online they also provide an option return against the goods or services or coupon. So as per accounting standard 9, in case of right of return in exchange of goods and services or coupons, giving the right to the customer to exchange the goods or services sold against the other goods or services. In that case, the sale against which the right of return is given, it should be treated to have been effected, and simultaneously provision for expected return should be made in the accounting standard 9. Then there are certain consignment arrangements. Now many e-tailers they sell their products to resellers or consignment agents. So as per accounting standard number 9, the company may use sale through approach for some arrangement with resellers where revenue is not recognized until the product is sold by the distributor to the end user, because the distributor may able to return unsold product, they rotate order stock or receive pricing concessions. As a result, the risk and reward of ownership have not been transferred to the other persons. Some entities sell the product using the consignment agreement, under which the buyer takes physical possession of the goods but does not assume all the risk and reward for that particular arrangement. This is called as a consignment arrangements. Warranties. Sale of additional or extended warranties are, in substance, sale of separate product or services which is different from the sale of goods and services with which they have been sold. Also, such additional or extended warranties are distinct from original warranties offered by the manufacturer of the product. Initial or original warranties offered by the manufacturer are accounted for the manufacturer as liability in accordance with the accounting standard number 29, provision contingent liabilities and contingent asset. The accounting treatment for sale of an extended warranty by online retailer, it can be explained through an example. For example, the retailer sells the electronic goods. The goods come with an manufacturing warranty of 1 year. The retailer also offer the customer the option to purchase the extended warranty to cover further 3-year period after the expiry of the manufacturer's warranty is generally known as warranty. So such a type of extra warranties are also given by the online retailers to the customer. So therefore their revenue recognition has to be done in the e-commerce companies accounting. Further, the e-commerce companies they are also doing some sort of advertising services through which they are also generating an revenue. So one of the principal source for e-commerce company is in the form of sale of banner and sponsorship advertisement. Basically, banner advertisements are usually hosted for a short duration. Sponsorship advertising contracts they have a long term than banner advertising contracts, and they also involve more service integration. High profile promotional sponsorships are typically focused on a particular event such as sweepstakes or you can say lotteries. Visitors to the websites are ordinarily encouraged to complete the transaction by clicking the hyperlinks and also known as click through. I would like to quote an example that suppose if a company may enter into an agreement with another company to host a banner advertising and it contains the details of product services offered by that company. So in this case, it is appropriate to recognize the advertising revenue on straight line basis over a period for which the banner is hosted unless the another systematic and rational basis of revenue recognition is more representative of the services rendered. In simple word, you can understand that advertising services may be offered by the many e-commerce companies to the different companies, those who want to promote their products and services during the sale of the company. In Amazon, you can say flip the bill. This campaign is run on every Sunday so that more people they get click through it and they are getting some sort of different sorts of coupons. Sometimes they may be able to get the iPhones, sometimes they may able to get the 500 rupees cashback, or sometimes they will be asked different questions and out of which a lucky draw will be done. So these campaigns are run by the mini e-commerce companies, which is known as their advertising services through which and companies getting a revenue. So this was about the accounting by e-commerce companies. Thank you for your patience listening. Thank you.